Yami, darkness. Yami's chosen name literally means darkness, so this really shouldn't surprise us, but I was surprised. So we got Yami meaning darkness, and we got, of course, Yugi being his Hikari, or his light. Love Eternal takes place 15 years after the end of Book 4, Blessed Moment. Heba being the one who takes after Yami, and Atemu being the one who takes after Yugi. They are now 16 years old. Beautiful age of 16. And right now, pretty much everything is perfect. Except for the shadows trying to drag Yami back into the shadow world where he resided for 5,000 years. This darkness has already caused Yami to not harm Heba, but close to it. And the only way that anybody can figure out how to fix this solution is the one thing Yami is absolutely 100% terrified of doing, and that is going back into that accursed Millennium Puzzle. He must now face the shadows that he spent so long running from in that Millennium Puzzle if he is to fix this darkness that keeps encasing him, threatening not only himself, because let's be real, he's okay with people threatening him, but his family, his beloved Yugi and his two beautiful children, Heba and Atemu. Within the puzzle, Yami comes face to face with himself. Itanna, why must you shatter my heart again and again and just leave me to glue back the pieces? I only have a hot glue gun, okay? I'm a DIYer at heart, okay? I got hot glue, that's about it. Personally, I greatly enjoyed Atemu version of Yami and Yugi's relationship. Yes, book 2. Not that I didn't love Yami and Yugi, don't get me wrong, I do love them too. Something about Atemu and Yugi, just Atemu feels so much more fragile than Yami in certain aspects, but he's also like this 19-year-old child adult that like loves having temper tantrums, and Yugi's all just like, Atemu, settle down. And Yami's kind of like this 5,000-year-old spirit that's been around for a while, so he's got some tricks up his sleeves. I just feel like Atemu needs Yugi in a much different way than Yami needs Yugi, and it's just like Yugi's compassion and kindness, just the way Atemu needs it, feeds off of it, and like just like, what is this? And then lets Yugi's kindness and warmth just surround him, just hits me in the soul. So not saying too much, but we do get a little bit of a Yami and Yugi reunion, and I'm not going to tell you how that happens or how that's possible. But oh my goodness, did my heart stop and my voice pitch 3 octaves higher. Honestly, I would have liked to see more Atemu and Heba, but perhaps that is better suited for another story or like a series of short snapshots of their life after book 5, which I 100% wouldn't mind reading, voting on, and commenting every single chapter, because frankly Atemu and Heba are freaking awesome, and they may or may not already have their future mates by the end of book 5. I'd really like to see if like Itanna, I need to look through her stories because she may have that already. I would like to see like the children noting some differences of Yami / Atemu after book 5, or even just like a few snapshot perspectives from them that take place in book 5, but we don't get to see it because this book 5 is told in Yami's perspective. Cons for this: Itanna, you give me really nothing to work with. I love this whole series. So the only thing I'm going to be able to pick at here is just revisions. But are we not all in a constant state of revision when we write? Just like I've revised one of my stories like 16 times, and I still go through and like, change this word here. Oh shoot, I still misspelled this word. Rose. This is easy. The writing is just all around well balanced between inner monologue, action, and dialogue. The plot line was one of my favorites of the series, and guess what? You keep making me lose sleep, okay? I'm not functioning right now. I'm neglecting my chores. I'm not getting sleep. Come on, Itanna. You have to function, apparently. What I find really impressive about this whole series is that the characters continue to grow, and they don't completely change. Their core personalities are still there. Itanna, you've taken this time and you have given them space to grow into adults, fully fledged functioning adults, okay? From Yugi being this innocent, passive child into this man that now has children and takes care of them and protects his loved ones, despite not having Yami's same powers or abilities. He still will stand by his family and protect them. And then you have these two functioning teenage children in here, Heba and Etemu. And P.S. It just melts my heart when Yami calls Heba princess and Etemu prince, because it's just adorable, because fathers being fathers is just amazing. The story carries along at a really nice pace, not just throughout the series, or not just in this book, but throughout the series as well. Everything is well paced. I don't feel overwhelmed. I don't remember finding myself bored at any parts or skimming over anything. I was completely captivated through the entire series, and I just could not wait to finish one so I could start the next one and figure out how it ended. But at the same time, I am now facing that awful, awful feeling of what am I going to do with my life now? So how many unicorn stickers are we going to give this? We are going to give this a 5 out of 5 rating, because I loved this book. Usually this is the part where I say something along the lines of, oh, book 2 was my favorite because it was set in Egypt and blah blah blah. This may either be my favorite now or be tied with book 2, which I'm feeling emotionally conflicted about, because I've spent this whole series pretty much like book 2 is my favorite, and now I'm just like, what is it? We're now going to take a moment to read a quick excerpt, and this is from chapter 2. And normally I don't read excerpts this early in, because I like to get to like a more intense part, but the way Itanna writes is there's just like a good balance of everything, and there's not a part that I can't share. But this is a part that I can share without giving too much away, but giving you a good entry to the story, since this is book 5. Heba, Etemu whispers softly. Do you see that too? Yes, she murmurs back in a voice equally soft but more intense. I can see it. Is there something wrong with father? Etemu asks with an anxious voice as he shifts his weight from one foot to the other. This is frightening me. Stop working yourself up so much, Heba hisses in reproach to her brother. We don't know what this is just yet, so there's no point in reacting as if it's the end of the world. Now how about you go and be helpful and go tell Dad? Why do I have to tell Dad? You do it. Someone has to stay here with father, and besides, you're closer with Dad than I could ever be. She answers seriously. It takes all of my willpower not to speak at this very moment. It's true that Yugi and I seem to get along better with the children that receive more of our individual attributes, but that doesn't mean that we favor one more than the other. I can't help but wonder if Heba realizes that. Just go, Etemu. Fine, Etemu grumbles. But I don't know who died and made you pharaoh. I bite the inside of my lip to repress the laugh that threatens to escape me as Etemu leaves the room. The boy may have my namesake, but he is purely Yugi. Father, I know that you're awake, Heba says sternly as she sits on the side of the bed beside me. I smile slightly as I open my eyes and peer into those familiar crimson eyes, the eyes that we both share amongst all the other traits that seems to mainly come from me. Her spiked hair cascades down her back and cradles her face in their embrace, making her angular face appear more beautiful. I have no idea how such a beautiful woman could have been formed from the combination of Yugi and myself, but I am grateful that she has been able to reap the benefits of the merging. Good morning, Princess, I murmur softly. I know that you were awake the whole time, she says without any hesitation. There's something we need to discuss. Oh, delightful, I grumble as I roll onto my stomach and bury my face into my pillow. Then it can wait. I'm afraid that it can't, she protests as she tries to roll me onto my back. There's something wrong here. Her thin hands wrap around my arms and try to roll me over. Something in my chest begins to coil tightly like a spring as she keeps tugging on me. That's enough, Heba. We need to talk, Father, she says seriously. There's a darkness that seems to surround you. Heba pushes on me with more strength, and the tightness in my chest begins to ache slightly as it continues to intensify. I said that's enough, I respond tersely. Father, it was like an aura. It was almost pure darkness. How does that not concern you? I said enough. I snap as my chest begins to feel as if it's being ripped open from the inside. My fingers curl into the blanket as I attempt to hold on to my composure, as an overwhelming wave of anger begins to wash over me, blinding me. Father, we need to figure out what this is, Heba whispers softly, her voice a gentle caress of silk that is instantly incinerated by the uncontrolled blaze of my rage. I quickly snap into a sitting position and grab onto both of her wrists. She stares at me with blatant shock and fear as I pin her down to the bed beneath me, those familiar crimson eyes staring at me with horror. What needs to be figured out is your place in this hierarchy, princess, I hissed darkly. I'll let you take it from there. That is from chapter 2, and that was near the middle end to towards the end. So there's still a few paragraphs left in that chapter. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please go and support Itanna. Go and check out this book because it's amazing. If you have not read any of the series, what are you doing with your life? All 5 of them are amazing. They kept me up, and I don't regret it, honestly. Don't regret missing that much sleep to read this series because it's brought me so many smiles. And reading in public that story sometimes was, I'm not good. I don't have a good book poker face, okay? My emotions are clear on my face. I'll squitch up into a ball and a squeak, and it's weird to read out in public because people will always stare at me. Please hit that subscribe button, hit the notification button to keep up on my summer reading list, as well as what books I'm reading for the 10-10-10 challenge, and that will be a separate video that I explain everything for when I get to explaining that. If you'd like to keep up to date on what I'm posting and what I'm reading, you can go ahead and follow my Instagram at NujiGoya. Everything will be linked in the description below from Itanna's profile and the link to each of her books because they're all amazing and they all deserve to be read. Don't forget to vote and comment on stories that you read on Wattpad because they are greatly appreciated by the authors, and they do help authors there to think through things, get past writer block, and just know if they're doing a good job or if there's something that they could be doing better. Thank you so much for sharing in this series with me. Greatly enjoyed fangirling with everybody because why not fangirl over Yu-Gi-Oh? We'll see you guys next time. What is up? It is NujiGoya back with another review. Today we are talking about the 5th book of Love Eternal series. I think I'm calling it Eternal Love. It's Love Eternal. And I just finished the 5th book, and frankly, my soul has been stolen from me. Frankly, my soul has been stolen from me. Thank you, Itanna, because I'm now emotionally not ready to move on to another book. And I have a huge reading list I'm trying to get finished with this summer. Anyway, Love Eternal is the 5th book in her series. It goes Spirit of the Puzzle, Unveiled Past, Blessed Moments, Spirit of the Puzzle. It goes Spirit of the Puzzle, Unveiled Past, Intertwined Fates, Blessed Moments, and Love Eternal. So, if we're running my shot, Katrina. What? It's
hot out. Yeah.
Where's she?
I'm getting dressed.
I'm checking the temperature. Give me a second.
I mean, either way, I guess.
72
right.
degrees.
Huh?
72 degrees.
Would you look at that? They have no down.
No pants?
No.
Nos pantalones?
Yeah, I have no.
Does this sound out of tune to you? Los pantalones.
It's gonna be too hot for sweatpants, bro.
I can't help you with that, buddy.